Hi, it is Rich Lieberman at the Bay Area's number one factual, the number one media pulse, the only person who covers Bay Area media and beyond sometimes 24/7. Look, so I have an announcement today. And this is not phony. This is not, you know, asshole BS shock, but it's good news for the sake of being shock, for the sake of doing something stupid or artificial, which you get in many areas of the media domain. So let's cut to the chase. I am going to do this. This is something that gets my way a lot, and I appreciate it. I'm humbled by it. I don't take it lightly. And what are you talking about, Rich? Okay, I used to do a thing called Ask Rich Lieberman, and that was your questions, edited, but questions for the most part that were unedited, unfiltered about anything, but primarily Bay Area media, TV, radio, questions that you had that, for the most part, I was able to answer. I have not done an Ask Rich Lieberman since doing this, and that is the YouTube show that I do every day with a few days off every now and then. So here's the headline: Ask Rich Lieberman, coming back with a caveat. And this is the caveat. Folks, I need your help. Yes, Rich has to earn a little bit of money to pay the bills. Look, I'm not going to give you all the BS about, I'm going to threaten to leave and do this and do that. Every day this site picks up hundreds of people, okay? And a lot of people, it's like talk radio. A lot of people don't participate, but they listen. Well, a lot of you, it's just like the blog that I wrote for 20 years almost. Word got out and word got out and word of mouth got out. And pretty soon I had the number one blog in the Bay Area because I worked in media early on in my life. I'm not trying to get another job. This is my job. This is what I do now. This is what I've chosen to do, the path that I've chosen to do. In a way, I'm honored to be here. You watch me now. You obviously read me. One of your favorites, if not the favorite, was the Ask Rich segment. And I was loving doing that. But it takes a lot of time, all these questions that I get. And for the most part, I was there to answer, try to at least, every question that came my way. Some were edited, questions that weren't made no sense or, were kind of dorky and that kind of stuff, which is pretty much what you deal with via the internet. But by and large, I answered your questions. Everybody says, will you bring that back? Well, not everybody, but, a lot of people that I know, some people I don't know, people that I've been able to know, who you are out there, who have repeatedly sent me contributions to keep me going, which keeps this site going. And folks, let's not BS. I know you like it. I know a lot of you have stated to me, I appreciate your opinion. You want me to write more. Well, I've got issues that enable me to do broadcasts, but not to write. I'm not going to go into that now. It's too laborious. It's too tiresome. I'm going to stick to the topic at hand or the subject matter at hand. I'm going to do my best to bring back Ask Rich Lieberman because I know a lot of you out there are very, very inquisitive, wanting to know about the ins and the outs, the various people and mechanisms that keep Bay Area media humming, even in today's fractured media environment. There's still a lot of questions every day. This is a good thing, not a bad thing. Every day we have, discussions. I see a lot of you on YouTube here have these, threads going, they call it. You talk about people and certain newscasts and various people, some of whom I'm not that crazy about, as you know, who partake in Bay Area media, whether it's television, radio, et cetera, et cetera. So here's my deal. I love the fact that this site is getting a lot of word of mouth. And that, look, I'm going to try to pacify a lot of you who are at work, many of you in the industry, whether you're working in television, whether you're working at a internet site, what have you. Many of you who can't stand me. Hey, welcome to the club. Yada yada yada. But you read me or you watch me. But I'm going to try to bring back this feature, which has been very popular. It's still very popular. I get requests all the time. And unlike Alex Bennett, I do take requests, some of which I can do, some of which I can't do for various reasons, which I'm not going to go into right now. This is not a little tease. I will gladly begin once again to field your questions and do an Ask Rich Lieberman. Please, though, I need contributions just so I can not break even, just so I can lose a little less and not have to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to keep this going. Now, look, I am not creating nirvana. I'm not parting the Red Sea, whatever. I provide an entertainment vehicle for you. Sometimes I'm terrific. Sometimes I'm not that good. Sometimes I'm very average at best. Sometimes I basically suck. But there are times that I do a good job. Who said so? I do. And you do too. And word of mouth. And believe me, I'm not teasing. I try my best to get guests. We have a great guest coming up in the sporting world. I've got Joe Starkey, September 12th, if all goes well, as Jim Eason used to say. But I am working on a multitude of guests, very, very heavy duty, national even guests that will be on this show and will be asked questions that nobody asks beyond here. And I hope you understand and realize that I'm working hard to facilitate all that on many, many areas, which, I'm just struggling to break even and sometimes lose less money than I'm already losing. Now, if you help me with a $10 or $15 donation or more, or whatever you can afford, I realize, again, tech layoffs taking place, the economy goes up, goes down, interest rates, houses, and all that. There's varying signals that we're either headed for a recession or we're not. We got good jobs to report. We live in a region of the world where it's very expensive, especially in the United States. I understand a lot of you are struggling to get by. You got families to feed, you got all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. I don't take this lightly, folks. I appreciate all the people out there. Kevin in Daly City, Mr. Lombardi down in San Jose, Mike in San Jose, people like Pam, people like Susan, people like, my friend in the North Bay, Jeffrey, all of you folks who have always been there. I don't take you for granted. Oh, my good friend Sean in Alameda. Sean, thank you. And all of you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. I'm just trying to keep it to where we can do a broadcast. And guess what? Yes, Ask Rich Lieberman in the written form, where I literally, folks, sit here, take a little bit of a break, but for the most part, sit here, get your questions, and try my best to answer them. Even some of them are pretty mean spirited, directed my way. Okay, that's life in the 21st century. I get it and all that. But in any event, I've chosen today is Thursday at the Media Zone. But I'm preliminarily, is it Tuesday? Yeah, next Tuesday we'll bring the blog back in the written form, and Ask Rich Lieberman will debut once again next Tuesday. And I will not only try to answer all your questions if you send in a contribution, and I do need funding. So look at, see all this? You know, I don't have television city here. I don't have banks of lights and all that. I do my best to keep it to where you can see me. And aren't you glad you see this lovely face? Okay. Enough of the self-deprecating humor of which many of you have said, Rich, just knock it off, get to the point. Okay. So I'm going to try my best to acquiesce, big words, and do a feature that many of you want to be featured again. Many of you in the industry, I may add. And so, therefore, okay, enough about that. Tuesday, I will bring back Ask Rich Lieberman. I just ask you again, please make a contribution. Those of you who are watching on your desktop, your laptop, the PayPal icon is up at the right side of the blog. If you're looking at this via a cell phone, a smartphone, for some reason, the icon, the PayPal icon, it's not up on the site for whatever reason. I have no idea. I'm not a mechanical or electronic nerd. I just have no idea. So then go to your home computer and look up on the version of the desktop or laptop. There is a PayPal. You click on that, it goes directly to me, Richard Lieberman, Rich Lieberman, whatever the hell it is. It is 100% safe, secure. You will not get, any kind of issue taking place. Believe me, I know a lot of you have inquired about that. It is safe and secure. Is PayPal. They do a good job, and it gets right to me. I will personally thank you in the form of an email, maybe an old-fashioned phone call. Remember those days when we used to call each other and not text and not send emails? Anyway, if you don't want to be bothered, I will honor that. As I've always said, privacy. I know a lot of you are hip to being anonymous, and that is always cool. The money gets to me. And again, what do I use the money for? Well, paying for bills, paying for the time and money, energy, etc., to do this. Many of you like it. Some of you don't give a damn. Some of you scream and yell, you hate me, you hate this, but you're first in line to come here. Or in the old days, when you used to read me, you're always here. So I still appreciate that. And look, folks, I do this because I love doing it. Situations preclude me from going to do a day job, if you will. This is my life. Aren't you happy you came and watched? Okay, enough of this silly pontificating. We're bringing back Ask Rich Lieberman on Tuesday. If you want to interact with me also via email, it's rich.lieberman@gmail.com. And again, folks, I do this because I love doing it. Some days I have my bad days. Some days we all have our good days and bad days and in the middle and all that. And I thank all of you who have sent donations here. That's what keeps my engine running. So, okay, enough self-serving stuff. Don't forget, tell your friends. Tuesday, we're going to bring back Ask Rich Lieberman, and also a little prize asterisk. I hope to be able to do a broadcast Ask Rich Lieberman. It's a little bit more technically, shall we say, abstract, a little more irksome, but I'll do my best. But at the very, very, very least, I am going to bring back the written form of Ask Rich Lieberman as long as you help me. And that way you get this day more than ever. Nobody covers media like I do. Nobody gives you the information that I do. And I know I have days where you're looking at me like, what was that all about? You want to charge us for that? Well, folks, you get what you pay for. If I can get just a manageable amount of funding, then guess what? You're going to get one more hell of a blog, hell of a YouTube show, etc., etc. It's a magic formula. It's very simple. And there you have it. Enough of the other things. Thank you for tuning in. See you later. And don't forget, Tuesday, the big day. If all goes well, please contribute. And please also, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Thanks.